Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. I have a very pretty Christmas card to share with you today, and again it's another fun fold. I've done quite a few this year, and so basically this little flap here is tucked underneath the bow, and we open up and then we've got the inside like this. So I'm featuring today the Christmas Classics stamp set, and this is all done with heat embossing, and my paper that I've chosen to use is this gorgeous paper. It's called Shining Brightly, and you get gold on vanilla and Night of Navy with gold printing on it as well. And you get, there's like 3 different designs, and you get one of each of the designs in the navy and another in the vanilla, and they are just so pretty. And as you can see, I've nearly used up all of the navy, and it forms the focal point of my card. Right, so with my supplies, I have just got an ordinary card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it in the middle at 4.25, and I'm just going to fold that piece like that. And to make the little front flap, I have another piece of Night of Navy, and this one measures 4.25 by 3.25, and I put a little score line in at 1 inch. And so I'm going to put that fold in as well, and I'm going to get my double-sided tape, and I'm just going to add a couple of strips to the flap. And so if you fold the flap back into the card, it's this surface here that you're going to put it on. Okay, so that's our first point, and I'm just going to use my bone folder to just give that a good smoothing down. So those are my first 2 steps. Then I've got some vanilla. This measures 5 here by 3.75, and I'm going to run it through my cut and emboss machine with this lovely snowflake sky embossing folder, and you can see that it gives like little dots and little snowflakes, and it's just really dainty and at the same time elegant. So I've got my machine, and I'm going to place the number 1 base there. Then I'm going to put my card inside my embossing folder. Now, I don't think it matters which way you put it down. It's a pretty sort of anyway type of design. Just make sure you don't put it up near the in the hinge, because then you'll get a little dull patch. So we're going to pop it down, pop it hinge first, and then we're going to put the number 4 embossing plate on top, line everything up, and just crank it on through. Perfect. And we'll have a big reveal, and you'll be able to see how really pretty this particular one is. And this is available in the September to December mini catalogue for 2023. And you see what I mean about the lovely little dots. And so that's our front piece, and we are going to just attach it to a piece of Misty Moonlight, and this piece is 1/4 inch bigger all round, so it's 4 by 5.25, and we're just going to attach this piece of cardstock to it. And then I've got some of this really scrumptious glittered ribbon, and it's gold with Night of Navy, and it just goes perfectly with this decorative paper that we're using today. And so I've just cut a piece, and I'm going to put it around the middle of my two pieces that are attached, and I'm going to flip over and get some sticky tape. So this is just whatever you like, you know, whatever you wrap your Christmas gifts in with, parcel, not parcel tape, but yeah, whatever you would use to wrap gifts. Scotch tape, whatever it's called. And I'm just going to pop that down like that and just really give that a good old rub to make sure it doesn't fall apart. And then I'm just going to attach it to the front of my card base with my liquid adhesive. Now, if you follow my videos, you know I love using the liquid. But if you prefer to use some other tape for adhesive, like Stampin' Seal or double-sided tape, you go ahead. Whatever works for you is just fine. So I've just popped that down, and I'm just going to give that a bit of a rub like this, just to make sure that my adhesive spreads out evenly. And then I'll just set this aside for a few moments for the adhesive to set up. Now we're going to do some stamping, and I'm using two of the stamps out of this set. This lovely, I'm not quite sure, sort of a grass, and I'm going to use the Tidings of Comfort and Joy. And I've got my inside piece, and I've got an envelope here, and I'm gonna do both of those. I'm gonna start with my Versamark. This is a clear ink, and it's very sticky, and it works beautifully with embossing powders to hold and allowing it to stick down onto the card. So I'm just going to use my embossing buddy just to gently stroke where I'm going to stamp. This will just take any static away, and also any sort of oily fingerprints that I might have. So there's that on there, and then this is on my envelope. And then I'm going to bring in my embossing powder and just sprinkle it where I stamped, and then tap it on the back to get rid of any loose. So sometimes if you give it a bit of a gentle flick, any loose powder will come off. And then we're going to do the same. I've got to find it. Oh, there it is. I couldn't remember which corner I'd stamped it. And you see there's a tiny little bit there that's kind of just stuck. I think it may be static that just held that in, but a little nudge with a brush, and away it comes. So there we have those pieces, and I'm just going to bring in my little tray, and I've put tin foil, aluminium foil, if you're here in the States, on it, just to it kind of makes some of the heat bounce back. And I've got some chopsticks, and I'm just going to gently heat up so that the powder melts into that clear ink, and instead of it being a horrible dull browny greyish sort of colour, it's going to turn into beautiful gold. and just be absolutely stunning. So this is very much like a luxury Christmas card. Now you don't want to keep the heat on it for too long, otherwise it can actually soak them into the card and you won't get this nice raised piece. So let it cool for a moment and you can just see that it's raised slightly. So pretty. And at the same time, I'm going to do my greeting. So I've got my tidings of great joy, and again I'm inking up with my Versamark here, and then onto a scrap of card, and then my I haven't quite got enough powder on there. Do you see? I'm just going to go and put a bit more on. And there, I think I've got good coverage. So we're just going to pop this down again. Get the old chopsticks out to hold everything in place so that it doesn't, I don't burn my fingers. There. And I can just show you one more time. Can you see how it's all nice and shiny and perfectly cooked is how I like to describe it. Cooked. So I'm going to leave that aside for a few moments just to dry, because it was not so much dry, but it cools down and it won't scuff when I come to put it together in a moment. So now we're back to this piece here, and this piece is the piece that goes across like this. So I'm going to attach it to the inside of my card, and the fold is going to be, the little bit with the tape on it is going to be down, and this bit is going to line up against the cut edge of my card here. So I'm just going to take the tape down a little ways, like that. And then I'm going to line up so that the flap is to the inside, is facing inside my card, and I'm just lining up my fold with my cut edge. And the reason that we want to do it like this is when I come, oh phooey, that bit went inside. It shouldn't have gone in there. There it is, easy. Just gently pull that out. Now the reason that we need to make sure that that is lined up is because this piece is going to go inside like that, and you don't want a huge bulge at this end. So we've got that, and now we're going to take the piece that we've embossed and we're going to stick it there, and then that will cover the little tab here. And you see we've got this little tab, and we want to just sort of hide them, that sort of the mechanics. So we're just going to, whoa, ooh. No, don't juggle with the cardstock, Cindy, when it's got glue on it. So I have got a little bit of adhesive here, and I'm going to scrape that off with my little spatula tool here. Now it is still sticky, so I'm going to take my embossing buddy here and I'm just going to just gently tap on where that adhesive was, and then that will kill any glue, and then I can just gently brush that away and it won't be sticky anymore. So it's easy to put right. Now I've got my piece of decorative paper here, and I'm going to stick it here to the front. Okay. You can see I've used one of the other designs on this. There we go. And so this is going to go like that, and then our card all falls down together. Now I've got the everyday label punch here, which is a perfect size for this particular greeting, and it also, because it's got all these lovely sort of curvy bits in it, I think it just looks very pretty. And I'm just going to attach that with some dimensionals, and I think I only need a couple, and I'm going to pop it in the center, and I'm going to kind of line it up with my little piece of ribbon here, like that. Then I've got some of these lovely festive pearls, and there's some red and some bright gold and silver, and then there's these ones which are kind of a, I don't know, sort of a pearly colour, which are very pretty, and they seem to have like a greenish tinge, but I think they would take on the colour of any card that you had. And I'm just going to pop a single one there just to add some added bling. And then I've made a bow out of this beautiful ribbon, and I'm going to use this bow as a little catch to hold this bit down. So I've got it on a glue dot, and I'm going to position this so that it's stuck on this piece of ribbon here, but it's so close to the edge of my little flap that it will actually hold the flap down without sticking it permanently. So press it firmly, and you can see that it comes out beautifully and opens beautifully, and then you close, and you just gently ease that bow to one side, and then you have your little catch. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed this card. If you have, maybe you go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Any questions that you have, or any comments, if you'd like to put them down below the video, I would truly appreciate that. And if you don't already, perhaps you'll go ahead and subscribe and share to my channel and share my video. Well, thank you once again for joining me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now.